Welcome to day 5 of our exploration on worldview. People were arrested because they were simply sharing their worldview. They were sharing what they believe to be true to other people, and yet in some places there are restrictions about sharing your particular worldview. And to be more specific, there are places when if you share your religious worldview or spiritual worldview, the authorities will arrest you. It's as if when you share your worldview, you're trying to brainwash them or you're trying to control them. So I'd like to talk about the whole idea about sharing your worldview. So let's not just talk about religion here, because we have mentioned that worldview is not just religion. Worldview is your philosophy, worldview is your political ideology, whatever you believe, how you see the world, and the lens that you use to see the world, that's your worldview. And the thing is, what I really want to share right now about sharing is that it's in our nature. Look at this. These are social media icons. Social media, you know that the owners of these social media companies, they're very rich, right? They have made their fortune out of these platforms because they take advantage of the nature of humans to share. I have this classmate of mine in the master's class that I am attending, and whenever we talk about writing your ideas, whenever we talk about that, he jokingly says that he's learning how to write academically because he wants to improve his writing on his Facebook page. There's this question in Facebook apparently that what's on your mind, and because he mentioned that so many times already, we've caught onto that. And then when he jokes about that, we kind of find that very funny because he's trying to learn the art and the science of writing academically, but then he's saying that he's going to use it for his "What's on Your Mind" page. And at first, we laugh at it, but then I think about it, and then I realized, what if he's serious? What if he really wants to improve his writing, to improve his "What's on Your Mind" page? What if his purpose is not really academic, so to speak, but really to improve his social media platforms, to improve his presence, to improve what he's sharing in his Facebook or on his Facebook? Why? Why is that important? In the academe, that seems less significant. But actually, if you will look at how much these social media companies are earning from the social media platforms, this apparently is very important to many people. I would say to all people. And what I'm trying to say now is that this is our nature. Sharing is part of our nature. It's second nature to us to share what we think is correct, what we think is true. It's part of our nature to share the things that we believe to be beautiful. And truth is beautiful. And once we realize it, once we understand it, once we grasp it, our tendency is to share. When we watch a movie or when we read a good book, and it compelled us to believe in the beauty and in the truth of that thing, we share that. We rush to our friends and tell them, you know what, I have seen this. You know what, I have read this. You know what, I have experienced this. Out of that overflow, the social media platforms, they take advantage of the out of that overflow. They're there, they're presenting themselves. Okay, you can share it here. What's on your mind? You can share it here. What do you want to say? You can share it here. What are the pictures that you want the world to see? They know it's part of our nature. In fact, when you Google the question, what is the truth? You will see you have 925 million results. And that's in less than a second. You have that. So many websites, so many information, so many different platform and worldview. They're telling you this is the truth. This is the truth. Why are there so many results? People are interested to share what they believe to be true. And so when someone comes to us sharing what they think is true, we should not be angry, we should not be annoyed, we should not think that what they're doing is harmful to us. In fact, we have this what call this saying, sharing is caring, right? So when someone shares to us their worldview, their belief on what is true, we should not think of that as a manipulative gesture, but rather we should look at it as their way of caring for us, because they're sharing what is important to them. We should not be so wary that we protect ourselves, because if we will be honest, we actually expose ourselves every day. If you use social media, if you use the internet, if you watch TV, if you read the news, you expose yourself every day to different worldviews. And then when someone comes to you sharing their worldview, whatever that is, whether that's politics or religion, you you become angry, you become annoyed. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to convince me? Guess what? The whole world is trying to convince you. And especially when you go to school, especially when you're trying to get an education, because truth is passed on through education. Education should not be belittled when truth, what they believe to be truth, is being passed on through that institution. I told you already, we're learning in our master's class about writing academic papers. They're teaching us how to be equipped in passing on through education what we believe to be true, whatever that is. And what they're giving us is the method, because they already expect that we're going to pass on that truth, because truth is passed on through education, which is why schools exist, which is why education is being promoted, being handled by the government, because it is through education that we passed on truth. And what I want right now is for you to be equipped, since you're part of the educational institution, is for you to be equipped in distinguishing which worldview is truth, which is not, which is acceptable, which is not. Yes, open yourself to different worldview. Actually, you have no choice. You are already exposed to different worldviews, and the tendency is you're already accepting some of them blindly. Yes, blindly. Even though the belief that I will not accept a worldview, that could be a worldview, a particular way of viewing life, and you're accepting that blindly. What I want you to have right now is the equipment, the tool, the techniques to distinguish which is the truth from not, which is the true from wrong, from the false. I want you to have the ability to assess the things that are coming to you. Truth is distinguished through education. And when you distinguish the truth, it means some of them will not be the truth. There might be different versions of a story, there might be different worldviews, but assess them. Only one of them is the truth. Truth is exclusive. Sorry, 2 plus 2 equals 4, 4 plus 4 equals 8. That is very definite. Truth is exclusive. And you can't just accept both, you can't just accept contrasting worldview without assessing them and without accepting only one as truth and considering, we think in the world right now, we think calling something out as wrong, as bad, as illogical, or as invalid, we think that's not good. But actually, that is a good practice, because in education, we're meant to distinguish which is the truth from error. And that's what I want you to have right now, to have the attitude of being vigilant in assessing which of the truth that's being presented to you will you really accept as the truth, because truth is exclusive. We will explore more of that next week.